Do you remember the story of the three little pigs? Let's talk about the third pig. When he built his house with bricks, was he being rude or responsible? Was it just to keep others out, or the big bad wolf out? Or was it to keep what was inside safe? Or did he build the house of bricks because it's a biblical strategy taught by our Master, Jesus Christ?
And that is what we're talking about today. Boundaries and how to implement them in our life, just as the Master did.
Hi there. This is the Wisdom in Thy Youth audio show, an interfaith space for the rising generation and the young at heart who believe in God and in Jesus Christ. I am Lori Beard, your host. As a mother of 8 children, life coach, and youth enthusiast, I trust the rising generation's potential for greatness.
What if your peace depends on building walls that wolves can't blow down? Hello, my name is Lori Beard, and I am your host in this amazing podcast, The Wisdom in Thy Youth, where we have real talk about divine truths. And today, yes, you heard the word boundaries. I said that in the introduction. The B word, boundaries. A lot of people don't like it. It doesn't resonate with them. They reject it, and it's just like, it stirs up a lot of conflicted feelings. What if I told you that your exhaustion, you feeling pulled in different directions, and you feeling spread thin is a sign that you have forgotten or even ignored a fundamental teaching around faith that was taught by Jesus Christ? We're tearing down this sacred myth that is around us believers and church. I want to address what I think is the church elephant in the room. The idea that a good Christian or a believer never says no. We've equated kindness with compliance and love with limitless availability. And it's costing us our peace, our joy, and even our effectiveness in living life to the fullest of our potential. We are going to look at an interesting little story, like I said, or fable or fairy tale. It's about the 3 little pigs. Let's talk about the first 2 little pigs. One built his house made out of straw and then just wanted to play. Second one built his house made out of sticks, a little bit sturdier, but just wanted to go out and eat. These 2 were thinking more about convenience and about self-indulgence. And the third pig built his house out of bricks. This was definitely more laborious, more intentional. It took more effort in planning, designing even a blueprint, and it ended up with a result of a strong structure. When the wolf came, he didn't discriminate. He went to each of the 3 little pigs with the same intention, and he blew with the same force in all 3 houses. He wanted, and he did the same with the 3 of them. The difference wasn't the wolf's intention. We knew he was around to destroy and to terminate the life of this little pig. The difference between the 3 little pigs was the quality of the construction material. In other words, the quality of the boundary. The first 2 pigs, they got the behavior they were willing to tolerate. Remember, we teach others how to treat us. What is it that we're willing to tolerate? That is what we teach others. A flimsy no, that brought about a very collapsible ending for them. Thank goodness they ran fast enough to the other piggy's house until the 2 of them ended up in the brick house. But these 2 were unintentional and nearly got eaten. Let's talk about the third wise pig. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. Basically, he said no. And we need to learn, brothers and sisters, parents, youth, that no is a sentence. No is a sentence. And we just need to declare it and say it, and people need to respect it. His no was rooted in a firm foundation. His boundary, built with the brick of clarity and conviction, protected not just him, but everyone inside. And now that we talked about foundation, that is Jesus. He is my rock, my redeemer, and he is my firm foundation. And remember, the wise man and the foolish man. The foolish man built his house in sand, and the wise man built his house on the rock. That's the house that stood still. In Psalm 31:3 says, "For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me." And if we're believers, and if we have upon us the name of Christ, and we're deciding to go towards that direction, we need to allow for His goodness, His teachings, His life to lead us and guide us. And if it's rooted in a strong foundation, what a great example it is. Jesus Christ. And in this metaphor, the third pig. I want to also note that the core issue that sometimes we have a conflict with is that we want to please men more than we want to please God. And in Galatians 1:10, it says,
"For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet pleased men, I should not be the servant of Christ."
People pleasing is not something that's going to give you a badge of like, oh, you're the best Christian ever. You win the prize. More, let me tell you the news, is more a worship disorder. It's a problem we have, thinking that we need to turn into people pleasers. Because then that is showing that we fear more men than God, that we're depositing our sense of value on the judgment of men than having faith in God and what He really wants for us.
In an article found in LDS Living, it says, "Christ didn't yield to the spirit of contention, but that doesn't mean He avoided conflict when it was a battle worth fighting. His teachings to turn the other cheek, go the extra mile, and love your enemy are designed to keep us from returning evil with evil, anger with anger, hate for hate, and force for force. They're to keep our hearts full of love for all and create in us a giving spirit. He practiced that, but He still boldly drew boundaries and spoke His mind. He still does today." There's something else I like from this article. It says, "Our Redeemer has no problem telling us how He will and won't be treated. Shouldn't we, who are trying to follow Him, do the same with each other?" Close quote.
So how do we move from these materials, right, from straw and sticks to building with brick? I'm going to share with you 3 important steps, 3 principles that are going to be very important in this blueprint of building your house of brick. Number 1, you need to discern your divine nature, your divine design. You're not called to do everything. Remember in Romans 12:4-5, it says we have different we can be different from each other. We need to be different from each other because it's like a body. Each part of the body has a different function. The third pig knew his function. He didn't want to be, he knew what he didn't want to be. He didn't want to be a snack. And his function then was to build a safe house. So you need to ask yourself, is this my role? Do I need to be this person's like personal counselor when I'm not even qualified or have the skills to be this person's counselor or taxi driver or bank account? You need to own back or reclaim your time, your energy, your calling, and release what's not yours, what doesn't belong to you. Okay, so that was step 1, discern your divine design. And number 2 is speak the truth in love. Brothers and sisters, I just had a personal experience in which when after allowing to be trampled upon, be insulted, be spoken to in a very unacceptable, harsh way, I own that. I allowed it. I learned the hard way that when I wanted to enforce or implement my boundaries, the person said, "We're finished, we're done." And to me, it really showed who this person was. Yeah, sometimes it's tricky because they sneak up on us like sheep, but inside of that skin there's a wolf, right? And not to say anything bad, and we still need to love them, but at some point we need to know when to cut, why we're cutting or distancing from this person. Practicing saying or establishing or agreeing or enforcing our boundaries, whether they're implied or whether they need to be spoken, We need to share them with love. And it looks or sounds something like, I cannot take this on. I won't accept that tone of voice. I won't accept for you to ask me those intrusive questions. I don't want to go there. Or that doesn't work for me. Without a trail of apologies and justifications. A brick house? No. Okay, if you liken the brick house like a no and anchor in as an example of why no is so important, it can be delivered with a gentle tone that you just need to say it. No, not today. No, leave me. No, I don't have time right now. And when you say it with conviction and love and firmness, that should suffice. And number 3 is we need to anchor in our acceptance, meaning Heavenly Father's acceptance of us. This is the foundation. Why did Jesus have the courage to say no? Because his identity was sealed in his mission, in him as the Son of God, to come here to earth, to live this life, beautiful, perfect life that he lived, setting the example, performing miracles, sharing and imparting his wisdom so we can learn the new law, so that we can one day be resurrected as he did. When we truly know our value because that gift he gave us, then we're going to be unshaken. We're going to be firm in this acceptance and anchoring in our value, our worth. When you truly know that you're loved and accepted by God, when the fear of men is broken by the fear of the Lord, then we become free to understand our value and our worth, to take and make the effort to build that brick home. And that's it. Your worth is not on the line with every request. When we bring this home, the story of the 3 little pigs ends with the wolf defeated and the pigs safe together in the strong house. That's the beautiful truth we sometimes miss. Healthy boundaries don't destroy, they build. They make our true life and intention be possible. They keep the wolves of the burnout, resentment, and guilt, and exploitation out, so that real love and service can flourish safely inside. When we believe we're the salt of the earth, when we believe we're the light of the world, that we need to share it with others, then this is imperative for us to learn. I invite you to make a decision. Remember, Jesus healed those who believed, those who were intentional, those that were kind with Jesus and wanted in faith this miracle, and that believed in the Master. He didn't extend his hand of healing or miracles to everybody. It was very intentional. Even when he took time to be alone, when he said no to the Pharisees or declared his truth in love. So I want to invite you to make a decision. Stop building with straw and sticks even. I want to invite you to, in the most quiet setting, very intentionally ask God for the courage to lay one brick, to say one clear no that's going to protect your yes to him. Remember this, a loving no is often the most godly yes you can give. A yes to your health, a yes to your mission and your calling here in this life on earth, a yes to your family, a yes for you to be able to serve in a way that is sustainable for the long haul, not from a place where you feel depleted, but you feel refreshed and re-energize yourself. So if this resonated with you, share this episode with one friend who needs to build a stronger house, a brick house. So see you on the next episode, where we're gonna have more conversations that challenge us to live like Jesus did, full of grace, full of truth, and surprising strength. Until next time, brick build well. Thank you for listening to this transformative episode of the Wisdom in Thy Youth show. May the wisdom shared today resonate deeply within you. We invite you to stay connected with us by subscribing to the show, ensuring that you never miss a moment of inspiration and growth. Share this podcast with your loved ones, extending the ripple of wisdom to empower the youth in their pursuit of their true destinies. Together, let us continue to fuel this movement. Remember, the power of wisdom lies within you. Embrace it, live it, thrive with it. And until we meet again, stay inspired, stay curious, and may the wisdom of the ages and the Holy Scriptures guide your path.